Hey everybody, on here, and I made it outside again. We're actually starting to warm up here in Maine. We're only headed into June and we're finally starting to warm up. But I wanted to talk this month about giving yourself a system reset. And this is really important. It's going to play into some of the codes that we have coming in and what's happening there. And one of the things I've been hearing a lot from people lately is, you know, I feel really burned out. I feel really tired. I feel really worn down, and I can't think of any reason for it. I can't think of any reason why I'm feeling this way. And people are saying, yes, I'm working, but it's not like I'm really heavy physically active or, you know, overdoing things or doing what seems like it should be making me as tired as I feel. And I think we have a lot of things that are going on right now. We have a big combination because of all the things that are happening energetically, that right there in and of itself is taking a bit of a toll on people. It's taking a little bit of a toll as far as just keeping up with the energies that are at play. And we know when we have all this heavy energy that's really active, like we do in the world right now, all these heavy things that are happening in the world, people in battle with each other, people that are in anger or hate or all of fear and all of these different emotions, then that weighs a lot on people. And when people are holding their vibration in this space of love and things like that, it's, on one hand, they're energized and they've got plenty of energy. And then on another hand, they are really, what I want to say, they're really kind of holding the vibration for everybody in some ways. And so when they have to spend time in a lot of heavy energy, they start to feel drained and they start to feel tired. Well, I've been working with some of these aspects recently where I can pretty much reset myself within 5 to 10 minutes. And like a lot of people, I've been feeling drained, but a lot of mine comes from when I'm working in the codes and I'm doing a lot of mental work. And it just really tires down my brain. And this is one of the pieces that people miss a lot of times, is that when we are doing a lot of mental work, we're thinking about things a lot. You don't even have to be working on a particular project or something, but that you simply have a lot going on in your mind. You have a lot that you're thinking about. You have a lot that you're concerned about. You have a lot of things that you're focusing on or trying to keep track of. And this is where we really start to get drained. Matter of fact, sometimes those mental drains can be much more exhausting on us than the physical drains. And this is where we can start to feel tired and worn down, and even if you're getting a decent amount of sleep and you're eating well and things like that. And of course, you know, nutritionists and people, they'll automatically go, oh, there's this physical issue or that physical issue. But that's not always true. And so we want to take these other pieces into consideration. And in the codes coming up, we have, and I'm trying to get out of some of the shadows, I apologize. I seem to have shadows everywhere right now. We want to get to a point where we can give ourselves these breaks and restore very, very quickly. Because if you're like me, you don't have like 3 hours to take a nap in the middle of the day. I know I don't. So I'm guessing there's a lot of other people out there that don't have that either, and they're staying very busy with whatever they're doing. So in the process of that, we have some key components coming up in our upcoming month, which is serendipity, focusing on some esoteric and philosophical thinking, and daydreaming. And these are some of the things that we do a lot of times, I think, more when we're younger than when we get older. And I think that that's kind of something for us to keep in mind. But these mental breaks become very, very valuable. Now, one of the things I've been doing is I take and find myself a little spot, and I just sit down there and I close my eyes, and then I just listen. Now, does the mind ever 100% shut down? I'm not sure if it does. If you're like me, I'm not sure it completely does. But when we just stop and we listen, when we just stop and we just kind of take a few minutes and we just listen to the breeze going through the trees, and you might have to find your little spots that you can do this. You know, if you don't have your own little patio area or something like that. I mean, you could really do this anywhere, but if you can catch any piece of nature, it will actually start to reset the system. So if you can hear a breeze, if you can be along the ocean, if you can, you know, sometimes even just turning water on and letting water run. I mean, I don't like to be wasteful, but sometimes even something as simple as that can be it. Any aspect that you can connect with that has those natural pieces to it. And then let your mind go, let your mind drift. Now, serendipity, the power of that connects in with this aspect, is that serendipity is that unexpected kind of blessing, that unexpected good fortune that kind of shows up, or connection to something that is soulful for you. It connects us a lot with our freedom. So the reminder with serendipity is that we are in the moment, because serendipity is not something that you can plan. Serendipity is not something that you can just say, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to make this soulful connection so much. It's something that you go someplace and then you pay attention to what shows up. So it's an aspect of presence, you might say. But when we operate with serendipity, when we're experiencing serendipity, we're actually stepping away from rigid control structures, processed ways of thinking, and we're opening our mind up to receive. And this is a really powerful thing that helps to reset. It helps to reset our thinking. It helps to just kind of reopen things and get the flow going and to get the drain parts out in our mind. And then when we look at the components of esoteric and philosophical thinking, now it's coming into making us conscious of how we're using our power. It's getting us to expand our thinking and say, okay, this is the normal way that something's looked at, but what if I look at it from a different perspective? What if I look at it from a different aspect or a different avenue, or from somebody else's point of view, or look at it in a more abstract term as opposed to a really concrete, rigid form of the term of it. And this resets our thinking in a way of tapping into creativity, tapping into the aspects that when we tap into that creativity, we actually are tapping into our ability to do our own critical thinking, our own reasoning, to see things in a way that's a non-programmed way. And so that will automatically reset our system. That will automatically create an energy force in our system that starts to renew it, rejuvenate it, and things like that. And then the third component I was talking about is daydreams. Now, you know, whatever your space is, and I'm going to try to find a space, maybe my face will come back in, it feels a little dark here. But it brings in with daydreams an aspect of, and we'll see, I'm sorry, I'm kind of feeling like I'm dark on the camera now. With this aspect of daydreams, it gives our mind the ability to open up and to be free. It gives our mind the ability to just not have to think about any particular thing and to see what comes up, to see what is flowing through it. And that awareness of whatever is flowing through it then opens a whole nother aspect of getting us to just be in something that is pleasurable, be in something that's enjoyable. But from a code perspective, a daydream is really divine communication. So it's really communication with the intuitive self, the soul self, God. It is this opening of thought that is exchanging and putting out there into the universe. This is where I really want to be. This is something that excites me, that I have passion about. This is something that brings me joy, brings me pleasure, brings up feelings of happiness and emotions like that. And so when we get into that aspect, and I'm sorry, there's a lot of little bugs here. When we get into that aspect of things, the daydreams become very powerful, and they can be also lessons, because when we're paying attention to whatever these thoughts are that just happen to flow in when we let go of all the thinking and the worries and the anxieties and the stuff that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and we just let it flow and see where our mind goes, you know, kind of like being that child, right? Just get out there, look up in the clouds and say, what's that cloud formation over there? You know, what does that look like? What is that shaped like? And seeing where your mind goes, because there's always something for us to learn when we let our mind go to something natural. And this is where we're opening up, saying, okay, I'm listening. God, I'm listening. Or, you know, soul self, I'm listening. And this is part of the partnership with that energy. So that's really the thing. A system reset doesn't have to be this huge elaborate thing. It's really just getting still for a little bit. It's just really opening the mind up and saying, hey, I am ready to listen. It's really this aspect of just paying attention to the flow and letting go of all the heavy duty thinking. And that's really where the system reset comes from, because that will remove the drain. And like I said, I can take even as little as 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes and do this and restore very, very quickly if I will just sit and stop analyzing, stop overthinking things, stop putting my mind on world stuff, and just be in the moment. Just take in whatever the sounds are around me. So I hope this helps you out. I hope it's a way that you will find that you will be able to energize yourself. Hey, I am busy working on getting ready to hit the road soon. I have one more month where I'm at. And so I have one more month to enjoy all of this amazing beauty around me until I've got to hit the road, and then I will be on the road doing events. You can check that out at Event Happenings tab on my website, which is compassioncodes.com. And if you like what I said, if you have something to comment, please make a comment in the comment area, and give a like on the channel and a like on the video. And I really appreciate the support. I'm looking forward to connecting with people out on the road again this year. I'm going to have 4 months out there on the road this year, so it's going to be incredible. I'm going to be starting with some events here around Maine and Vermont, and visiting a lot of bookstores all around the country, and I'll be doing events in Texas, just outside of the Dallas area. I'll be doing an event in Denver, Colorado, and I'll be doing an event just outside of Detroit, Michigan. So I'm going to be in a lot of different parts of the country, and maybe you'll get a chance to come see me or stop by someplace that I am and say hi. Take care, everybody, and I will see you next month.